Hello, everybody. This is the Kubescape community meeting. Today is Tuesday, May the 28th. Welcome, everybody. So, let me share my screen for the agenda. Great. So, first item is on you, Shrat.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of traction on the LFX mentoring opportunities. Mentorship applications close tomorrow. So if anybody's interested, now's the time. There's a thread on Kubescape Dev that talks about, ideas and things like that. And people have also been sending me proposals personally so that the maintainers can look at them. So if you want to, and if you still kind of want to use these 24 hours, feel free. We're happy to see you join. I had hoped I encouraged potential mentees to join so that we could talk because there's a lot of questions that are coming out of this, but I don't see anybody, so we'll just skip the Q&A piece.
Yeah. Anything interesting in this page?
It's the dates are important. The mentee application closes. Oh, today, not even tomorrow. Today, sorry, 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So, well, in some parts of the world, it'll be tomorrow. And then we'll start reviewing the applications starting tomorrow, and as this goes here, and we're looking forward to starting work on June 17th.
Good.
My next item is documentation improvement. Cubes, well, like often happens, I was on GitHub documentation today. Documentation tends to fall behind. And there's new functionality. I've been seeing on the Slack channel requests for support about things that have gone away in new versions. So what I'd like to do is I encourage contributors to join. There's this CNCF tagline with tag contributors where they say you don't have to be technical to contribute, or you don't have to know how to write code to contribute. If you want, you can start kind of at the very, very easiest level, which is check the English and things like that. If you try out Kubescape and you find discrepancies, and we solve them for you when we're talking to you on channels, then for sure, feel free to issue a PR for changing documentation. Improving documentation will improve life for everybody. So really, you don't really have to. Oh, there we have Mohammed. So again, if you're using Kubescape and you're finding things that don't line up, and you get a response from us, oh yeah, that went away in the last version or like a year ago, feel free to give a PR and we'll approve it, and for the benefit of everybody, because open source. So now that we have Mohammed that joined us, we can go back to the other item, the Q&A about the mentorship project. Mohammed, do you have anything specific that you'd like to ask? If you're talking to mute. Okay, so I guess we'll go on with to talk about the new stuff in Kubescape, and then if we get questions, we'll circle back to that.
Yes. So actually, I have also the new version of Kubescape to talk about. Which one is it? 3.11 something. Yes. Oops. All right. So let's start with this one. Don't have release notes, but if I compare here, yes. So interesting fixes in this one. So it's mostly bug fixing. So Ben has added some masquerading of critical data in the scan outputs, like some secrets or environment variables. I have fixed a bug that I found during our latest workshop. So when you would use the fix command, it would render the YAML unusable because it's removing too many lines compared to what it has added back. So I fixed this one. I fixed the fix command.
You fixed the fix.
Yes. And then we had this announcement about partnership with DigitalOcean, and David found out that scanning some third-party clusters, including one from DigitalOcean, we could have a panic in Kubescape. So, so this fix now should allow people to use the tool that we're advertising for the partnership.
And is this for all clouds now, or is this just was this tested only on DigitalOcean?
Yeah, no, it's for like all different clouds. Because in the past we were checking if the cloud was not AWS or Microsoft, or then in some case we would panic. So yeah,
Okay.
so it's a fix for everybody.
Nice job.
Yes. So now new version of the operator. So I think we have like 3 release behind. So I'm gonna take the list here.
Okay.
So last one we had was the 11. So in the 12. Oh yeah. So this one was we have to keep up on our libraries, and this one was for the library generating the SBOMs, and which has brought like many improvements in the vulnerability detection as well. So that's a good one. Then this one is a hotfix. Yes. We also changed the way we store the objects on disk for the storage to have. Previously, we were using JSON, and now we are using a binary format called GOB, which improves the CPU usage and the memory usage when we have large objects. And
does this have to do with eBPF or just Kubescape in general in terms of?
No. Actually, the most problems we had was with the SBOMs, because for some images we had like huge SBOMs, and we were using, I don't know, 600 or 700 megabytes of memory just to unmarshal them from disk.
Okay.
So, and yeah, now for the latest one, we had some improvements in the threat detections.
Yeah, there's a typo in the release notes.
Yeah. and also I added like a way of specifying to limit the size of the SBOMs that we store in the storage for the same out of memory issues that we tried to solve here. So we are going a bit deeper because, yeah, the problem is that we have like several components asking for this SBOM at the same time, and if for each request we allocate 600 megs, then we get an out of memory. Even if you allocate 5 or 6 gigs, if you have like, I don't know, 15 node agents asking for the same SBOM at the same time, we still explode. So that's a way to run with low memory.
Okay.
So
So that's non-functional. If we talk a little bit about functional, you can say that we have GA for rule-based alerting, and this is for the runtime threat detection and response, right?
yes, exactly.
So that's an important point, dear community. We are now we're now moving or adding functionality in Kubescape. If Kubescape was a really, really good scanner for vulnerabilities and misconfigurations, now we're adding runtime functionality in order to give users of Kubescape an end-to-end security solution for their Kubernetes. And it kind of creeps up into application security a little bit. So the idea is to make the project more useful and have one single platform in which you can do all of the things. Matthias, I just read the comment from Mohammed, and he said that only you can unmute him. So maybe if we're done
Oh,
with the technical, we can
yes.
go back to any questions that he might have.
So how do I do that? Let me see, participants. I can ask you to unmute.
Do you have an unmute all, sort of, or only a mute all?
Thank you for unmuting me.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Hey,
Hello.
nice to meet you. Welcome.
Nice to meet you too. I'm fairly new to Kubescape, and I'm also applying for LFX this term. I'm applying for the plugin feature for VS Code, and for the couple of for the past weeks, I'm trying to understand what Kubescape is and what the issue is all about. Have some little like whenever I have some questions, whom should I ask in the community, like on the Slack direct channel, or is there some maintainer to which I can ask my questions?
So you're in luck because we have a maintainer here with us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have so much background on the VS Code plugins, but
Yeah, but if we can't answer the question, then by all means do go to the thread on the Slack, and I will encourage the mentors or the potential mentors for this project to have a look today, because I know that the applications are closing. So just to kind of make sure that everybody is in good shape.
Right.
good.
Like, what are the recommended practices for testing new features in Kubescape VS Code plugin, like for the testing and purpose?
That's a good question. I don't know if there is a framework to test plugins like this, or if you are obliged to do manual testing. I don't know. I have no experience in this. And do you? I mean, have you ever written or checked how it works for the VS Code plugins?
Not for like a project, but I have done some while doing researching, I have done some like small projects.
Okay.
Have like fair idea about how these things work. So just and like to tell about like how can you provide more details on like expected integration of container image scanning?
So if you want to, so you cannot scan scanning containers is not really something that Kubescape does. This is more another component running in cluster that is named kubevuln. However, what Kubescape can do is it can scan the manifests of the workloads. So scan the pod itself or scan the deployment that has created this pod for the misconfiguration. And if you call it with the scan image command, you can get the same results as other image scanners, and also the same results that you would get for the in-cluster component named kubevul. So
like, are there any specific testing frameworks or like specific environments that Kubescape community prefers for the testing and validation purpose?
yes, so we do like unit tests, of course, that this you need to do, but what we for some features we want to write component tests. I don't think we have component tests in Kubescape directly, but in other components such as node agent, kubevul, we do have component tests, and those tests use test containers to start some disposable Kubernetes clusters with K3s, I think. And you can probably see some examples. Let me check. No. Ah, yes. So in the synchronizer, yes, that's a good one. So I will put so that's one example. Then I don't know, I read this for, I don't know if you can use this or not, how to test the Visual Studio Code for extensions. I don't know if you have used this or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have other questions
like
or?
apart from like other Kubernetes security tools, like what more to Kubescape like have features, core features have?
Apart from security? Well, that's that's all it is. Kubescape is only about security, but on different levels. So we check the posture, we check the configurations, we check the yes. Otherwise, yeah, it's always security based. I mean, do you know our documentation website?
Yeah, I have read it little bit yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
Also going through like some CI/CD stuff. Also, like I was want to know like Kubescape like integrate with CI/CD pipelines also, yes. And well, what are other tools that it can also integrate with?
Well, you So we can integrate, as you said, in CI/CD, so in Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab. We did a demo on how to integrate with Argo CD.
There's also Prometheus exporter, right?
Yes.
And plural, well, the plural extension is pretty old too, which is the same problem we have with the VS Code one. I think that's about it, because
Like for the scanning capabilities, can you tell like how are scan results presented to users? In what
As
sort of like
CRDs. So the way Kubescape saves results, it's everything as a CRD. So this is when you run in cluster. Otherwise, if you run as a CLI, you have everything in the CLI output.
okay. Okay, so as an like new contributor, what are some best ways to engage with the Kubescape community to get support and feedback of their contributions?
Well, open a pull request and start the discussion from there.
Okay. Are there regular community meetings like or events where contributor can discuss their work?
We're trying to, but not many people show up during the community meetings. But yeah, this is definitely where we should discuss features or how to implement things. Or yes.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. Okay.
There's one last thing that I'd like to say, and this is a teaser. We are working on a GitHub action, rolling out a GitHub action that will create a Vex document for the SBOM. So that's going to be interesting, and community should keep their eyes out for that, because that's really helpful when trying to find problems with your dependencies.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
Do you know what Vex is, Mohammed?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, no worries. So it's a vulnerability exchange something. So
document.
yes, document. So it's a way to tell that a vulnerability is exploitable or not in your current workflow or workload.
And currently there are scanners. Sorry.
Oh yes. So no, the issue is like today nobody creates it.
It's true.
So it's an extension that you do to a normal SBOM to tell that if a vulnerability is relevant or not for your personal application, but it's done by hand. So people use it to exclude some controls or some vulnerabilities from reports. On the contrary, with Kubescape, what we do is that we observe your running container, and based on the behavior of your container, we filter which vulnerability is vulnerable or not, and we use this Vex output or Vex format to save this to the SBOM. And then if you have any other tool that is compatible with SBOM and Vex, then you can visualize this information. Okay. How about we move to triage?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do we have? Let's check new items. Oops. Okay, so this one is not. It is a bug, or it's like a outdated documentation, as you said. And I will add the first issue.
Yeah, we can add that as an example to the notes.
Yes. Mm. Okay. Yes, so this one is a feature. This is also a feature. It's not really a bug. No. Yeah, I will. We are waiting on his. Okay. Okay, all this is fairly old. Ah, sorry, it was here that I was supposed to look. Yeah. Okay. I think this one was solved by David. All right. Good. Let's have a look at the pull requests. Oh yeah, this one I need to review. This is also work in progress from Ben. We need to review the API for this. Good. Well, I think we're good. Mohamed, do you have any other question or thing to share with us before we close the meeting? Or
Okay, so like just one question, like would you please like pass on my draft proposal to the mentor for the advanced Kubescape space plugin feature? As like I'm planning to submit it today and would greatly appreciate your assistance.
I passed all of the information on. It's just a matter of bandwidth in terms of if they'll get to it. We got quite a few people asking us for feedback before the submission. But of course, we understand that kind of the idea is that we get an idea of how you're thinking about solving the problem. It's not a test where we say you have to reach some sort of score in order to be eligible. So if that idea kind of lines up with something we've been thinking about or sparks some sort of epiphany in somebody, then that'll make it more attractive. Really, no worries. It doesn't have to be totally correct. We do appreciate that this is a mentorship program.
Okay. Like, are there any opportunities to continue contributing like to Kubescape after the mentorship ends?
You can stay as a contributor to our community for as long as you like. That's
Okay.
and we're happy to have you. That's great. So and once I know that one of our past mentees presented at a CNCF event a few months ago. There was a mentee showcase, so that kind of allows you to bring your contributions to stage, literally, and be able to share your capabilities and your achievements with the bigger audience.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for support.
thank you.
Great. Have a good day and have a good evening.
Bye. Thanks. See you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye.